Okay, continuing my discussion. So yeah, it's like, yeah, I just felt like they're gonna release this game kinda, and I hope it's not what I think it does. It's like kind of like unfinished. But I guess it's like, again, yeah, it's okay because it's mission based, or it's not. Well, yeah, most Monster Hunter does that, like quest based. I guess it's like, yeah, you have your hub world where you can like interact with like the the NPCs, the side characters and stuff like that, which is cool and shows you a lot of like the world and stuff like that. And then you go to like your quest lady or your, well, I'm pretty sure there's no quest lady in the main world, probably. Yeah, I would say it's like you just have like walk into different areas and suddenly you have that like you know that quest selection, and that's when yeah, you go to the actual open world to actually fight monsters and the environment, like explore the environment. Um, yeah, if you have that kind of like selection, I guess it makes sense. Like, oh, the DLC got added, you downloaded the DLC and got added, then yeah, it will just appear as a new quest in that lineup of quests. So yeah, it would probably make sense that way. So I guess yeah, yeah, I'm just basically proving myself wrong by just like shouting it out and speculating it more vocally. So yeah, I think I'm gonna talk about how Monster Hunter fans are viewing this new Monster Hunter game. I can't really say much because I'm not a veteran, and again, I have to retell my story of how I got into Monster Hunter. It's basically, yeah, um, mm, when I first got or heard of it, it was like I have a I have a PSP and saw a demo in the PSN store in the PSP demo. Tried it out. I mean, because I tried it out because a friend of mine is just like, oh, you should play this because it's so much fun. And I was like, okay, let's try it out. The demo didn't do well for me. It was like, it was horrible experience. It's like I didn't know what to do. And again, Monster Hunter it is hard to get into. And I was like, yeah, this is not a game for me. And especially the title is kind of boring. It's really generic. Like, yeah, as you can see, it's Monster Hunter. Ugh, it's so boring. So yeah, and back then I was like an open world fanboy. I love GTA and stuff like that, like Assassin's Creed. So yeah, I was like full on fanboy of open world, and having like an RPG which has like a lot of mechanics that I don't understand. I was like an asshole. I said, God, I hate Monster Hunter. And then a couple of years later, I was and looked up some videos when Japan announced Monster Hunter 4, and I was like, holy shit, this looks cool. And it wasn't like graphics wise. If you have to compare like the PSP, like Freedom Unite graphics and the 3DS games, their graphics didn't really improve that much. I mean, improve a little bit, looks much more shinier and stuff like that, but it's still not a huge leap. So when I look at that, then it's like, oh my god! I just look at the monster designs and I was like, the first time I saw like Zamchios, I was like, oh my god, that looks awesome. And especially like the cutscenes, how the cutscenes were like made for you, and I guess that, I mean, for 4, yeah, it was like it's a total hook for me. I was like, holy shit, this looks good. The action looks awesome. Yes. So I went back, bought, and by that time I already have like a, well, I still have my PSP, but yeah, I bought like the full game of Freedom Unite, played a little of it, and I suddenly fell in love with it. And all I have to do was to actually give like time for the actual game, and I fell in love with it. And that's when I was like, when I didn't really finish Freedom Unite because it's like it's an old ass game, and it's kind of hard to have like, especially in the West, like it's kind of hard to find any friends or any like partners to actually, play Monster Hunter Freedom Unite with, which is a very old game, and basically the community is kind of dead unless you have like a convention of it or something like that, or a get together, like a community get together in your city or something like that, or your district. So yeah, it's kind of hard. So yeah, that time I played a little bit of it and fell in love with it. And then when Monster Hunter 4 actually was announced for the West, I was so excited. Got my money saved up, bought myself a freaking 3DS, like, and yeah, got that, fell in love with the whole series. And after that, I think I forgot to mention this. After that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back a little bit, and bought 3 Ultimate for the 3DS. Played it a little bit. The swimming mechanics was interesting. I didn't hate it. It was actually kind of like a new like experience. Hard to do because yeah, the mechanics is kind of wonky. They're kind of experimenting on like verticality and stuff like that. But I enjoyed it a bit. Still haven't finished it. Again, it's kind of hard to go back now, especially with Monster Hunter World. I experienced Monster Hunter World. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about it. I still have time, so yeah, I think yeah, I'm just gonna talk about it so I can stop rambling anymore, because I might extend it to another video. Shit, just to stall or just distract myself. But yeah, I think I'm gonna talk about like how Monster Hunter fans might like see Monster Hunter World. Like yeah, as like I'm looking at the comments and stuff like that, a lot of people are not happy. Like they think it's casualized, like, oh, it's gonna be so easy, bring back my like old school hard Monster Hunter. And I that's like elitist mentality. Sometimes I do have that mentality, but I just love Monster Hunter so much that I don't even care. As long as Monster Hunter is there for me, it's all good. Like Monster Hunter World, it feels good. Like I've always wanted to have like proper controls, because whenever I play Monster Hunter in the 3DS, my hands hurt, and I feel like I'm gonna have like carpal tunnel, and I kind of need my hands to actually like, I draw. I love drawing, so if my hands gets destroyed by just playing Monster Hunter, then I'm fucked. But anyway, besides that, I still love the 3DS Monster Hunter. And if you're an elitist and you hate this game and starts to like rally because Monster Hunter World is very casualized, it's too easy, and it's like, you're an asshole to think of that. This is what I think. I saw like a really negative video about it. It's like, wow, your video is so bleak. Like you're just talking about how Monster Hunter will just crumble because it's a very risky, I guess, decision from Capcom. But you know what? I'm gonna support it. Like if you say don't support Monster Hunter World, you know what will happen? Capcom will see that the West doesn't want Monster Hunter in their gaming sphere. So if you say that Monster Hunter World doesn't deserve to be released, you're not getting any Monster Hunter. If Capcom suddenly decide, oh, they don't like Monster Hunter, we don't need to like localize our series there. I mean, it's already popular in Japan, so who cares about them? Fuck them. That's gonna happen if you say that. So yeah, if you support Monster Hunter World right now, and like especially when they're like having like they're doing this risky decision, you might like, hell, they might localize your freaking like portable Monster Hunter games. Like it doesn't have to be just World. it might like they might and this is what's so cool about if you would think about it like that is that there's so many Monster Hunter spin-offs in Japan. Like you have the like what was that, the Iru games, basically the feline games. They're like cutesy like feline centric and stylized games. It's been spin-off of Monster Hunter, and they haven't touched the western area, in the western parts of the world, because nobody in the West would play that, because yeah, it's really obscure in the West. And then of course you get like Monster Hunter Stories, Monster Hunter. There's another one, Stories. Ah, shit, I forgot about the other one. There's a card game of Monster Hunter, and it's pretty like I mean it's a side it's a side game, I guess, of Monster Hunter. But you know what I think? If Monster Hunter gets popular in the West, you'll get all that shit, and you will have fun with it. Like seriously, like Monster Hunter Stories get localized, and that's really like, and that's kind of like obscure, and I thought it wouldn't even go to the West. And that's when Capcom is like, oh, we still have fans in the West, so let's give them some like good stuff, you know, like in the meantime, while they basically he was working on Monster Hunter World. So yeah, I guess it's like a side project. And then yeah, and then even in Generations, when Generation came Monster Hunter Cross came out in Japan, a lot of like a lot of you Monster Hunter fans like basically like begged Capcom to localize it in the West. And you know what happened? We got it. We got Generations. And yeah, and that's what we want. We want more fans in the West. If you're an elitist trying to push away newcomers to Monster Hunter, then you're not a Monster Hunter fan. You're just someone who's trying to like think that you're special because you can do like you can beat a freaking hard game. So what? Like if this project is not successful, especially in the perspective of Capcom, then they won't give it to you. So yeah, like for example, right now, the dilemma within like I guess portable Monster Hunter is Monster Hunter Double Cross is not being localized. Even though Generations already is localized, Double Cross is basically your G rank version of Generations. And yeah, and I mean it doesn't really matter, since you know freaking Double Cross is in the Switch. Well, it is also in the 3DS, but it's mostly like it would be much more popular in the Switch, I guess. But the Switch is like not region locked anymore, so you can pretty much like import it. Then again, if you don't know Japanese, like especially me, if you don't know Japanese, then yeah, you're just gonna like go into it very blind and just you know read off tutorials in small like translations. So yeah, you don't know what's going on, the lore of the game. You're just fighting monsters blindly. And yeah, you can do that, but still, if you support Monster Hunter World right now, you might get that someday. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it right there, because yeah, I'm just like going deep into discussion, but I'm just gonna sleep it off and probably wake up in like middle of the day, and the beta is probably open by that time. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video. Man, there's so much things that I talked about. Jesus Christ, I just can't wait for the beta, I guess. But yeah, then again, like yeah, next month the actual game releases. So yeah, Bye, guys.